Hello lovelies, and welcome to the first of an instalment of videos where I rank anything I want to, basically, because I can, and I feel like my opinion matters, so I'm going to give it regardless of if you want it or not. To start this series, I'm going to be ranking all the hero costumes of the people in my class, because some of them do not know how to make a good costume. They need help. But I'm just going to get straight into this, because there's a lot of people in my class, and there's a lot of comments I want to make, so I'm just going to jump right in. Quit the chit chat. Time for the judging. Okay, first up is my boy Denki. Me and him go way back. He's part of the Baku squad. We chill. I love him to pieces. He's the best. His hero suit, on the other hand, well, let's be honest, it's just not a suit, is it? I mean, let's be honest, you're wearing a black jacket and jeans. What part of that is a hero suit? You look like going out for a night on the town. I will give you marks for the glasses, style points, ding, and I also have to give you points for the little bracelet, because I appreciate that it helps you aim. But hero suits aren't just there to look good and get your power across. You've also got to have a little bit of protection in there from other opponents, because you don't know who you're going to face. So you want to make sure that you look good, you're strong, and you're protected. And considering you look like you go for a trip at the mall, I love you, but I'm going to have to put you in C tier for now. Considering it's the first one, I'm just going to put it there as a tester, but they may be subject to move around. And of course, you can't have Denki without his main boy, Kirishima. Where do I start with this? The baggy jeans, the weird boots, the weird half skirt. And this picture is supposed to be the winter one. What is winter about this? Your summer one and your winter one, the only difference is you've got sleeves. Baby, you're still going to be cold in the winter. You've got your full chest out. Don't come for me saying about I need it to for my quirk, because my quirk is harder. I get that, but at the same time, if you're wearing trousers and these weird cover arms, surely you're able to wear a top and still harden yourself. Clothing is only yay thin. It is not going to make that much of a difference to the way that you perform. And don't even get me started on the face mask and the weird shoulder gears. How hard is that to move around? You're supposed to prioritise moving around and fighting, and yet you have these two big ass fucking gears on your shoulders. You're a hindrance to yourself. And what the fuck is that face mask there for? You're not covering your identity. It is not there as protection. It is there to look cool, and you don't look cool. Kirishima, I've known you since middle school, but you're going in D tier. I'm not sorry. Number 3, we've got Tokoyami. Now, I think this is a prime example of how you can have a simple yet effective costume. He's got the simple plain tee, he's got the simple black trousers and boots, and he's got black cape. Call me Ed Mode, I'm not a fan of capes. But Tokoyami makes it work because he uses it to his advantage for fighting with Dark Shadow. The issue that I have with this is where's the flair? As well as being practical for your power, you've got to have a bit of flair for the fans. I don't see the flair, you're not giving. Where's your brand? Kaminari has the electric pattern for his electric quirk. Kirishima has the colours red and little R in his belt. What is this? This isn't giving. There's no symbol that we can relate to you, apart from your bird head. And that is just you, babe. You're going into C tier. Coda, listen. You get points for the mask, because I get that you're a little self-conscious, so you might want to cover yourself. It makes you comfortable, but it also works for when talking to smaller animals, as it amplifies your voice. I can appreciate the colours. Personally, I would not choose red and yellow, but it's worked for some. Not necessarily you, but it's worked in the past. Once again, there's no protection, but I don't think any of these have protection. So instead my issue is the symbol. Why have you got an open mouth on your stomach? Yes, your quirk is to do with your voice, but the mouth is not appealing for the fans. No one wants to see what's inside your mouth. I'm starting to think everyone is going to end up in C tier. Because, babes, it's just not working out right. Come back to me with a new symbol and a new trademark, instead of the mouth, and we might see if we can bump you up a few levels. Aoyama, I'm going to be nice to you. The outfit is shit. We can tell that you want to make everything about yourself, and the way that you are doing that. You look like a walking piece of armour with a cape. And you know how I feel about capes. You've got the big ass fucking glasses, which are going to be a safety hazard if you ever get hit. You've got the cape that people can easily hit you with. And you've got armour, which is going to make it difficult to move around. That being said, you get points for being the only person so far to have protection. But the protection is going to hinder you. Yes, you have the style, but what good is style and branding when you can barely move? You're not going to save anyone. You're just going to get the reputation as that weird-ass fucking armour-walking bitch with the red glasses. Again, this has got to go in detail. Why is Jiro here? I haven't judged you yet. Well, since she's here, I might as well judge her. My girl Jiro. Bestie, I've got to be honest, you're matching with Denki with that t-shirt and jacket combo. Are you both hitting the town? Are you both going on a shopping date? I mean, as far as your style goes, you are rocking it, but I cannot say that it's necessarily a suit more than it is clothing. However, the pros do outweigh the cons. I like that their headphones match the whole outfit, the ensemble has a theme, and I like it, keep it going. The boots are also functional, although I cannot question the strength you have to carry them damn boots. I mean, they're speakers, they must be heavy, but you make it work, so I'm not going to question it. If you can handle the accessibility of it, then points on my mark, you know? I'm going to say this is pretty mid. I'm going to put this in B tier. You've got the style, the colours need a bit of work. It's not much of a theme, but in terms of practicality, is the best we've seen. Next we have the third Musketeer. I'm going to be honest, I think this is the best costume that we've seen so far. We have the colour theme of the black and the yellow and the white, and it's an actual suit. It's not just clothing that you put on your body and called a suit, it's an actual suit. I can see this being a professional armour suit in the future. Depending on what material it's made out of, I can see there being a bit of protection in it. You've cut it from the arms so that you're able to easily dispense your tape. The only issue I have is that helmet. I have never seen you wear that damn helmet. You look like a roll of fucking sellotape, bro. And I can see why you would make that joke, and I appreciate it, but it's just not working for me. I think this might be our first A tier. Again, maybe subject to change, do not get too comfy up there. But you can stay there for now. This list is getting a little big, Jesus. Next we have Ojiro. It's just not giving. You're serving nothing. I can appreciate the gloves, and I like the fact that they're fingerless. But the costume, again, not much branding, not much protection. You're giving me nothing. Tastes like air. As much as it pains me to admit it, I think Bakugo might have the best costume. I mean, it works. His parents are fashion designers, what can I say? He's got that experience. But it still hurts to say it nonetheless. That shirt is giving no protection, and I'm sure that headrest is uncomfortable to wear. But you've got the branding, you've got a little bit of protection for the knees, which don't know why they necessarily need protecting. You've got the gloves, and I have to say, I'm a big fan of the grenade arms. I was a little unsure at first, because I assumed that they would be heavy, and although I'm aware that you are strong, I was a little concerned that there would be a bit of a moving difficulty, but you've handled them well, and you've used them in useful situations, which shows to me that they're worth it. I can see the branding, you got the red, you got the orange and the green. As much as I hate the fucking explosion clips that you have in your hair, you make it work, and sometimes I do your eyeliner, which is fun, because you hate it, and I love it. I'm going to put this in S tier, bro. Hold on. I'm going to have to scroll down for these now. Mineta. Uraraka. Where to begin? You've got the branding. Bonus. You've got that Uravity. You've got the sort of space girl outfit. I'm loving the vibe. I love the pink. It's cutesy. I love it for you. But how the fuck do you move? The boots are massive. The headgear is awkward. The hip belt isn't even connected. And then you've got these big fuck off arm wrists. From experience, I know that you've done it because you get sick. But surely you can make it smaller. You don't need it to be as obvious. You do it a little subtler. Because especially if you draw attention to your weaknesses, your enemies are going to exploit them. I think you could easily make these smaller, make the boots less chunky. Not a fan of a chunky boot. And lose the head mask. I don't get the headset. Am I missing something? Why have so many people got headsets? I don't have a headset. Should I get a headset? I'm putting this in C tier. Sato, I can see you going pro with this outfit. It looks how a hero suit should look. You have this mask, the gloves, the boots, the belt. I'm obsessed with it. It's easily adaptable to your power. I think you need some sort of logo or a pattern. It's looking too plain. You've got the two colours, but there's not really much of a contrast. Maybe add some darker highlights, some spots, I don't know. Jazz it up a little, find your style. Still, I'll put it into B. Room for improvement, but overall I can see it going professional with a little bit of help. Average. Okay, Todoroki. Thank God it's this picture and not that awful white one, because that was... I would have had a few things to say about that. I'm sorry to say it's just mediocre. You've got the knee-length boots, which I love, I'm obsessed. And you've got the weird arm pads to match. Looks a little bit like you're wearing a backpack without a backpack, but okay. And the belt, which... I mean, even I still don't get the belt. What have you got there attached? I mean, if it works for you, you do you. And you're strong, so I'll stay out of your way. I know better than to mess with you. But in terms of branding, let's be honest, you're still stuck about your father. I can tell that you've used blue to represent your ice, but there's no red. And I would have thought that after the sports festival in Midoriya helped you, that you'd be a little bit more accepting to have that little red. I think it would be good use to embrace that and do a cool blue and red pattern. That could be the style, the moulding, and you can make it your own. It doesn't need to be anything to do with your father. It doesn't need to be exact flames, but have a little bit of red or orange or yellow at the least. Once again, there's very little protection. I'm going to put it in C. Ida. Did you talk to Aoyama about this suit? Did you both agree on looking like suits of armour on the battlefield? A sort of medieval Night Rises kind of vibe? And I don't mean to disrespect your brother, because I know that you love him and it was inspired by him. But you need to become your own hero. You need to make your own suit. You cannot just copy the past heroes before. You have to make a new impression. We're going forward, babe. I think the boots are a good idea. I like how you've used the boats to boost your engines. But again, I think it needs to be done in a different way, and maybe one that's less clunky. I mean, you've got a brand for sure, but it's the brand of your brother's. And I know that you want to follow in his bloodline, which is absolutely fine, each to their own. But you've got to have a little bit of originality in there. I want you to say, this is the new Tanya Ida. I am following after my brother, but I am not him. I mean, babes are trying to kill a man. As much as you may want to follow in your brother's footsteps, you are not the same, and that is okay. Individuality. Show it in it. That's what I want. Keep with the blue. I think that would match your hair. And I like the sort of metally, smart vibe. I can't describe it any more. But I do want to see more improvements to this. Again, I think I'm going to put this in C. Disappointed. Hagekuru, why are you blind on my screen right now? I get that you are invisible, and that wearing clothes can be a hindrance to your power. But if you are able to wear shoes and gloves, you are able to wear a bra at the least. Not to mention how uncomfortable it makes your fellow heroes when you are fighting in a group to know that in the back of their head, you are naked. That's going to distract them. And as much as it will also distract the villain, and that's a priority, you've got to think about yourself. All it takes is a widespread blast and you are out of there. There is no protection. I think we can take a little page out of Mirio's book right now. Because if he has to go invisible underneath the ground, and he used his hair for a costume, your hair is also invisible. So should you not be able to make a costume out of your own hair? I just want to see clothes on you. That's all I have to say. Now, Sue, she's my girl. I love this. There's a theme, you're a frog, you got the colours, the whole water suit is made for in the water, but also on land. You've got the floaties. Not sure how I feel about the weird head goggles, but I'm open to it. I have to say, there was a little more protection on this, a little bit more padding, maybe some sort of way that you can manipulate the water. If you're going to be in water surroundings, I think this would be an S tier. But because you don't have that, I'm going to put you in A, just for now. Just for now. The man, the myth, the legend. I thought this slays, and it still does. Look how cute I am in that. The fur was a choice. I can understand it not being everyone's taste. And I think I should change up the colours a bit. Maybe not do it so much of a blue, but maybe go along with that purpley pink. Keep that theme going. Might even lean into this alien sort of theme. But I've got the protection, I've got the big boots. I've got my arms free. I'll be humble and put it in a B. Room for improvement, but honestly it slays. Showed you we're starting off strong. You've got your arms free, obviously for your quirk. You've got the blue colours, you've got the belt, you've got the branding, you've got the colours, you've got the mask to cover you, each to their own. I'm loving the theme. I can definitely see this in the future being the blue sort of theme. I don't know what environment you all work in. I know that in our test exam you are more of the helper, gatherer than the fighter. As strong as you are able to fight. But I think I like that it's a little bit more simple. You're drawing less attention to yourself, letting the heroes get on with them, and you keep hidden so you can save people. You're not drawing the eye of the villain. I like that. That's smart. I do wonder if it's drawing too little of an attention, because you want to get a brand. You want people to trust you. And right now you're just kind of blue. I think I'm going to put this in B. I'm going to put this in B for now. Decidedly mid, but in a nice way. Izuku Midoriya. I think this is one of the best hero costumes that you've had. That bunny thing was not for me. You've got this sort of bluey green that complements your hair. Absolutely love the black boots. I love that you're exploring using your legs more. You want to be known as that guy that has the power, not as the guy that uses his arms. I think it's very diverse that you could also use your legs. That being said, you've also got the arm sleeves that are reimbursed to handle your power. Part of me wishes that they were the same colour as your legs. It is throwing me a bit that your leg reimbursements are black but your arms are white. And as much as the white has the style and the black fits, kind of wish you'd just pick a side. All that to say, it's a huge improvement, so I will give you that. And there is protection for your quirk in there. Have you got a belt on? Why do you need a belt? What does your quirk do that you need a belt? It's an all-in-one suit, so it's not like you need to keep your trousers up. I'm not a fan of that. Maybe you can get back to me and tell me why you might need a belt, and I will change you. But until then, I'm going to say A tier. And last, but certainly never least, our class rep, Momo. Let's just get all controversy out the way to begin with, because I know what you bitches are like, and I know what shit you're going to be chatting, and I don't want to hear a zip. Is this a good costume? No, absolutely not. But all the shit that Momo gets about it is not worth it. Again, I think you and Hagekari should work and maybe talk a bit with Mirio about how he got his suit out of his hair. Maybe you could have like a little mesh thing going on so that you're still able to pull objects out of your chest, because I know that's a big area for you. Similarly with your back, maybe. You also have this weird ass shelf on the back, which I'm assuming that's where you keep your mini little book of how to make things, which I'm all for. If you need a book to look up things really quickly, you do that. I can't ever imagine reading that book in an emergency situation. When you have to think quick, you're not going to be like, let me just whip out my encyclopedia. But that's just how I think. I do like the boots. I like the red. I think you should stick with the red. Red gives creation vibes. I think maybe you could have some gold accents, really get that goddessly, earthy thing going on. I would love to see that. But overall, it's just a bit too much revealing. And I'm not one to judge being revealing. But in a situation when you're going to be fighting with people, you're not going to want to be embarrassed to whip out a boob. A bit like hagikure, no one wants to see you naked. No offence. So I definitely think the mesh option is going to help. And also get rid of that ugly-ass yellow belt. For that, I'm going to put this in D tier. I'm sorry, Momo. I love you, babes. But you need to get a new costume, because it hinders you more than it helps. Time for the final scores. Okay. Looking over this, I don't think that there's anything I would change. I'm quite happy with how it is. I think I did a good job. I have no regrets. You can fight me.